Hello again. I'm going to make leek and potato soup. It's very economical, very quick, and it tastes lovely. It's going to be about 6 portions, so you could halve the quantity if you wanted to, but it freezes really well, so it's a good one to make. See what you think of this. So you're going to need quite a large saucepan that has a lid, and into that we're going to put our chopped vegetables. So you need 2 potatoes, medium size, sort of fist sized potatoes. I've done one already, and the easiest way to deal with it is to use a bridge to keep your fingers safe. Cut it in half, lay it cut side down on the board, it doesn't go anywhere, and then again with a bridge, cut it into strips and then go across, and you'll get little chunks. So the other one. And you don't need to peel the potato for this, because at the end you're going to zap it all with a stick blender. So that's our 2 potatoes. They go in the pan. They're the ones I did earlier. And then you need 2 leeks. Now I've done one already. All you need to do with the leek is take off the dried end, and then where the roots are. But then you need to get it clean, and leeks are quite grubby vegetables. So I've put the knife in through the middle of the leek, and I'm pushing it away from myself. And then if you have a look, you can see it's quite grubby. That's just the way that they grow, so you need to wash that. There we are. That's nice and clean now. So with our clean leek, all we do now is cut it into slices. It's easier to start at the green end because this section you haven't cut and it's all holding together quite nicely. If you start at the white end, you'll find that it just collapses as you get towards the end of the leek. So you don't have to be too exact about the size of the pieces. If you spot any bits of dirt when you're cutting, which might happen, just go and wash that bit. So they go in with our potato. That's the one. You can see why you need a big saucepan, because this is the other leek that I did earlier. And now you're going to need an onion. It doesn't have to be terribly big because you've got quite a lot of strong flavour from the leek. So get rid of the papery layers. Then again, use a bridge, cut it in half, lay it down so it's not going to wobble, into slices, and then across. And that goes in the pan as well. Couldn't be easier, could it? We don't want that piece there though. Right. Now I'm going to add about a tablespoon of oil of your choice, olive oil, vegetable oil, doesn't matter, and then we'll get this on and just give them 2 or 3 minutes to fry. The potato will stick to the pan while you're doing this, so you do need to keep it on the move. And you'll hear it start to sizzle. It also helps because you can break up the leeks as well. Keep it moving. And then what we're going to do next is add a litre of water. Now it can be out of the kettle. Mine isn't, mine's cold, and that's absolutely fine. That's sizzling quite nicely. So a litre of water. And then our 2 stock cubes, which you break in half and just drop in, and they will dissolve as the water boils. So what we've got to do now is get this up to a boil, and then it's going to simmer. Now as you can see, it's starting to come up to a boil, and I'll give it a bit of a stir, and during this process the stock cubes will dissolve, and I've used chicken ones, but obviously you could use vegetable stock cubes if you want to. Give it a stir. And what you really need is for a good rolling boil, and then the lid goes on and it's going to simmer for 15 minutes. It's not very long, so it's a really good soup to make on a nasty day, if you've got the ingredients, why not do it, hey? So the timer's gone off. Phew, look at that. The first thing to do is just find a piece of potato and make sure that it's cooked. There's a piece down here. You can see it is because it's collapsing. So I know that's all done. And what I'm going to do next is blend it with a stick blender. These are really, really worth having because they're so useful. I use it ever such a lot, mostly for soups, to be honest. So don't turn it on until it's in there. And you can see how creamy that looks. Now, at this point, some people like to add some single cream. I've actually seen people put cream cheese into it as well. I'm not going to do any of that because I don't think it needs it. You can keep blending for as long as you like. My family always find a lump because that means it's real, okay? So I'm going to stop at that. Turn it off. These things are quite dangerous. Now you do need to taste this to get the seasoning right, and it's going to be very hot, so be careful. Just take a little bit from the side with a cold spoon. Oh, it's lovely. I don't think it needs any more salt because stock cubes are quite salty, but I am going to put some pepper in. And what I would do is, I shall have to stir that again obviously, and I would serve this with some crusty bread. Soda bread even, if you want to make that. So have a go at this and see what you think. It's very economical and it's actually very quick. I hope you like it. Bye.